The new 100-year quest chapter is out, and Cobra stocks are really high right now. Bro was capable to pull a massive win against Blade without even needing a power-up. Cobra just locked in and outplayed Blade in an epic moment. I have to apologize, I wasn't familiar with your game. I thought Cobra gonna need Dragon Force or a second element to fool this guy, but nah, all what he needed was a proper strategy. Hello and welcome back to Just Some Space Guy, but you can just call me Space G. The new chapter is out and holy moly, this entire chapter was peak. Mashima and Ueda were on fire. The chapter starts off with the continuation of the Cobra vs Blade fight. Cobra covers himself with a cloud of poison while calling Blade a chicken jockey, clearly trying to rage bait Blade into attacking him. Pretty low effort rage bait in my opinion, or maybe just I'm too used to quality hit pieces on Twitter. But hey, sometimes this is all what you need to piss someone off. And Blade, despite looking calm, does seem to question Cobra's confidence, so Cobra partially has succeeded. Blade even questions what power does Cobra's poison has. And this is when Cobra reveals that his poison has the power to corrode everything. What is an insane revelation! This makes Cobra far more powerful and deadly than he was already. We kinda knew he can melt and burn some things with his poison, as we see him do it, but being able to corrode nearly every material is insane. And he even quickly demonstrates how insane this power is by attacking Blade, what resulted in Blade's sword getting corroded. Being able to corrode fucking steel, I presume the sword is made out of steel, in such a short time is freaking insane. Cobra's poison is just built different, man. This shit is more acidic than the strongest acids on our planet. Being able to corrode a steel blade in a split of a second. It can take days if not weeks to corrode steel in real life. Cobra should be called Acid Dragon Slayer at this point because holy fuck! No wonder Mashima put him against Blade and not Daimon, as Cobra would have folded Daimon like a pretzel. He would have ate her like a spring roll. This also could mean that Cobra can eat basically anything. Not just what we consider poison in traditional sense, but this guy could chug down acid, metals, venom, probably even uranium. No wonder Mashima kept him in the shadows. Bro needs to be on a leash, he is broken. Blade says that despite his sword getting all worn down, he still can cut with it. So he charges at Cobra, piercing him through with his blade. However, this is exactly what Cobra wanted, as he grabs the sword with a giant smile and starts aura farming on Blade's ass, not letting him go. Seeing that he is now in poison, Cobra rages his poison surrounding Blade and hit him with a poison dragon's jaw, corroding Blade's entire body from the outside while poisoning him in the inside. With this, taking Blade down with a single deadly blow. Cobra even states that he isn't like Natsu, as unlike him, Cobra kills his opponents. Natsu really lives rent-free in his head, huh? Cobra didn't take that ass beating from Natsu well. It was 9 years ago, and he's still salty about it. Cobra dominated this chapter. Bro showed who is the boss with earning the respect back for the Seis and for himself. If Menace would be a person, Cobra would be him. Cobra willingly took a sword in the guts just to fold his opponent. Like, how cool can a guy get? Cobra stocks are really high right now. It might have taken Cobra more than a decade to finally pull a win, but when he did it, it went hard. This takedown might be slightly anticlimactic for some, as he did one-shot Blade after all the beating he received from him. But it does make a lot of sense if you think about it. The issue was that Cobra couldn't land a hit on Blade. He couldn't close the gap without getting turned into shish kebab. And with his mind reading, what he relied heavily on, being actively blocked, he was in a hard spot. So the moment he was capable to work around it, in this case using himself as a bait, it makes sense that he could land such a devastating blow, especially since he is the Poison Dragon Slayer. But I do have to say that Blade going out was slightly disappointing still. No second form or proper explanation about his power, but already 6 feet under. Considering how dominant he was, we got the image or the impression that he was massively stronger than Cobra. So it feels like a slight letdown when we find out that he in fact wasn't. The way he went out was cool, but he going out so soon, not really. But we might have a glimpse of hope, as when he died, he said that death to them is merely returning to fairies. So maybe fairies has the power to resurrect them. If that's the case, he and the other demons might have an infinite life glitch, making them immortal as long as fairies is standing. As long as fairies is alive, she could summon them back anytime they die. Maybe even give them modifications after each death. So this way, Blade could come back and fight Cobra again or fight someone else, giving him and the other 6 members slightly more shine, or opportunity to shine. Maybe that way we could learn more about the past of these characters, or see their second form, if they have one. At this point I am starting to think they might not. Them returning to fairies could mean many things, like fairies could summon them back, or they part of fairies to begin with, or part of a seal on Acnologia's arm, but is also in the possession of fairies. No much explanation is given, so there are many possibilities, but we definitely gonna find out soon enough. Either way, this marks the defeat of the first Oracion Seis member. We also see Blade's book, what is really important. I think this is the third named demon book we ever seen in the story. Like we seen the demons from the books, but we never seen their books. We only see 3 so far. END, but it's Natsu, Mard Gear, and no Blade. I don't remember any other named book so far. This actually makes me realize how underdeveloped the demon book plotline actually is. I think this is the biggest Mashima fumble after the rushed ending of the OG. He left it really underdeveloped in the story, despite how important it was for the lore and the story on overall. So maybe Mashima will use this arc to actually further expand on the demon book plotline. What would be more than awesome, especially since it could be used to bring out END. Racer also packed up Bird, but isn't a surprise, as from the start they were the most evenly matched from all the fights. I don't know if this means that Bird is the weakest Sex member, I mean, I can see that being the case, or it means that Racer is just built different and he became that powerful during the time skip. But either way, he made a KFC fried chicken bucket from his ass. However, we have to thank Bird for asking the important question here before getting packed up. You might be a fraud, but at least you gave us a good answer on why did the Oracion Seis show up. We thought that Mashima pulled them out of his ass for no particular reason, just to bail Erza out, but it appears they actually came to specifically take down Zero. Meredy has sensed Zero's magic on the continent of Giltana, so she speed-dialed all the ex-Oracion Seis members to take him down, revealing that Meredy seeks revenge for what Zero have done to Urtir. Now, for those who only read the manga, This might be confusing, but the anime connected Urtir's backstory to Zero, making Zero or Brain to be behind the facility who took Urtir away from her mother. So this makes those anime-only scenes fully canon. This plotline never was expanded on in the anime in any shape or form, and with Urtir going granny mode, this was left entirely unresolved until now. So the reason why the Seis popped up was to take down Zero for good, for his crimes, and to resolve the Urtir plotline as well. I love how Mashima handles anime-only content. Will other authors deny their existence like an unwanted child they had in some affair, Mashima goes around calling everything canon. This man is something else. The Seis members at the start weren't the most willing to fight as they finally can enjoy their true freedom and peace. Why would I go and fight again when I finally can just enjoy life? However, Midnight then says and makes a really good point that maybe true freedom means having the will to keep fighting. This line alone resulted in all of them to pull up to an entire different continent and pack up the Zex and Zero with them. Talking about motivational speech. This line is incredibly good. I absolutely love what Mashima is doing with the Oracion Seis right now, giving them more shine while at the same time concluding their character arcs. It is just amazing writing. They've been around for nearly 2 decades, what makes this even sweeter. I'm slightly disappointed that Cobra didn't unlock his Dragon Force or second element this chapter, but with the arc still not even being halfway through, and the possibility of Blade returning or God Seeds popping up, I still see an opportunity for that to happen. And I think that will be really freaking cool. And I think Cobra desperately needs one of the two. But in either case, this chapter was really amazing. We see Cobra shine and prove that he is a different kind of beast. Well, we also got some hints towards future plot elements involving fairies and Zero. We also received a pretty good reason why the Seis manifested, seemingly from thin air, this arc. You just know Mashima locked in when we received a flashback, as 100 Year Quest is heavily suffering from a flashback deficiency. This chapter was just hype altogether. Mashima's and Ueda's peak streak still goes strong. These two are just cooking. But what do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. This was Space G, don't forget to subscribe and see you guys in space. Bye!